Welcome back to another episode of the Me in the Making podcast. I'm your host, Melly Clay, and thank you for joining me. This is a show about introspection, self discovery, self exploration. It's about learning more about the people around you, community, figuring out why you might do the things that you do. I'm also figuring out why I might do the things that I do, why I might get triggered in certain different type of ways. So this is a podcast about growth. And this is season 3. We're on audio and visual. So if you would like to see the video, there is a YouTube link in the show notes to point you to the video. And you can also listen to audio via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you might get your podcasts. I'm everywhere. Just search for Me in the Making or Making Me Pod. You can find me wherever you might listen to podcasts. And thank you for coming back. If you have been here before, I really appreciate the engagement and the feedback that I've been having, and just been having some really cool conversations about the things that I've been talking about. Some of the things have been relatable to you all. So please continue to engage and share with others because maybe they want to add something to the conversation. Seasons 1 and 2 are audio only, and I was speaking to guests mainly in those episodes. You can listen to those wherever you might listen to your podcasts. And we had some really good conversations, people talking about who they are now, who they used to be and who they were when they were younger, kind of their journey of how they've gotten to be who they are now. And we talk about who they're becoming. So there's some really cool episodes on in seasons 1 and 2. I also did one where my friend Tech Gay kind of interviewed me and asked me what were the origins for this podcast. And we were talking about where I was in that moment and some of the things that I was talking about back then in that episode have kind of come to fruition. Like, I finally decided to do video for my podcast. I had been thinking about it the entire time when I was thinking about launching the podcast, if I would do have it be audio only or video, how was I gonna, kind of make that happen. And I've been able to make that happen. So just the growth in that alone has been really, really cool. And this season, I will do some solo episodes like this one right now, where I will talk to you all about what it is that I've been thinking about lately, experiences that I've gone on myself, and talk to you all to see if you can relate to any of the things. Sometimes I'll ask questions about like I'll ask for advice. In the cooking episode that I did, you all were giving me some advice of the things that you do and also the struggles of having to cook for yourself, having to think about, okay, I need to take care of myself in this way. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, continue doing what you're doing, and hopefully this podcast will grow. I would love for more people to be able to listen to it and send in ideas or thoughts or questions that they might have for me, and I can talk about them in these episodes. I will also have guests on the show as well, where I will talk to them about what's their self journey, where do they see themselves becoming, etc. So yeah, this is me in the making. And today I would like to talk about my learning. My no. Today I would like to talk about my dating experiences. So, I haven't had a ton of dating experience. I would say that I don't know if I really like the term late bloomer, but I was just not as interested in dating when I was younger, like in high school, even in college. And my world of dating kind of opened up when I moved to Chicago and the older I became. So I want to talk about some recent dating experiences and some of the lessons that I learned from those dating experiences, where I think sometimes you can get lessons about how to interact with people when you're interacting with your family, when you're interacting with your friends. But sometimes there are some things that you will maybe only learn via the dating experiences that you might have. So I want to talk about 3 things that I learned and one little bonus thing that I learned from dating so far. And of course, this is not a comprehensive list. These are just some things that I would like to highlight. to you all and see what are some things that you've taken from dating. It's very easy I'll just speak for myself. It's easy for me to be discouraged when it comes to dating, especially in this day and age where people are dating online. It doesn't seem like people are as open to meeting people in person as maybe they used to be in the 90s when there was no online dating. I think now because we have the avenue of online dating, sometimes it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm just going to go out and hang out with my friends and not necessarily put myself out there to meet someone in person because I can just swipe on this dating app and do the same thing. When I think I kind of used to think that way, but the longer I've been single, the more I have kind of enjoyed meeting people in person, where you're able to get a feel of who that person is and kind of wade through the BS of everything in the beginning. It's kind of like small talk sometimes on dating apps. And of course, it would be great to just jump into the deep questions, but also might be like, okay, this is a virtual stranger to me. I'm not going to get into all of that with this person who I don't even know if this person is real. This person could be a bot, essentially, or, what they're actually looking for. Maybe it doesn't even align. So I don't want to take the time to really like dive into these conversations that I'm having via these dating apps. So anyway, I think that dating nowadays has become a little bit harder in that way because when you go out, like you might not be thinking, "Oh, I could meet someone here. Let me be open. Let me talk to people who I didn't walk in here with." It doesn't seem like, at least in the city where I'm living, it doesn't seem like people are prioritizing meeting other people. They're mainly focused on the people who they came in with. And of course, if you're going to dinner or if you're doing something in a more intimate setting, the expectation is not for you to like leave your friend group and try to mingle around the restaurant. But if you're going out to a bar or going out to a place where you're dancing, or maybe it's social, maybe you're going to play shuffleboard and it's a social arena where you're able to meet other people who didn't come in your friend group. Like that could be a perfect time to meet people in person. But anyway, I digress. So my a few of the lessons that I've been learning recently, the first one I would say is to receive. So, as a single person, I'm, in the second half of my life, which is kind of crazy to say. I'm in probably the second half of my life, and the older I've gotten and being single, I've been independent essentially. I've been taking care of myself. I have had roommates and I've, lived with family members and everything. And that's a little bit different when you're, receiving help from friends and family. But in the dating realm, I've been learning how to receive. So it could even be as simple as someone opening the door for me. Whereas, I would just open the door for myself. I wouldn't really even think about it. Like it was just something that I would do out of habit. But some men who I've dated recently have been like, I want to open the door for you. And that's something that is really nice to kind of take a step back and let someone else do those things for me because I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a type A personality. Maybe I am kind of a type A personality. Okay, now that I'm saying it aloud, I probably am a type A personality. So for some of those things, it's like, oh, open the door or make a decision on making a plan of being social or doing whatever. A lot of times I will take charge in those types of social situations, but in these dating situations, just learning someone else can take care of that. Someone else can do that for me. Someone else can help me out in that way. And I've also learned that is beneficial even in my social life, even with friends. Like I don't have to be the one to always make the plans. I don't have to be the one to always even suggest hanging out. Like I can allow someone else to help and do that and kind of fill in those gaps where maybe I'm feeling kind of worn out and that other person can step in and ask me like, "Hey, what are you doing?" or something along those lines. I don't have to be the one to always take charge. I can let someone else kind of give and take when it comes to that. So I would say receiving, even having the door open for me or having plans being made for me. I would even say like allowing someone else to cook for me has been really nice because like, I don't necessarily have that all the time in my life. Someone else thinking about, oh, hey, I want to do this for Melly, you know? So that's really nice to understand that other people can show up for me in that way. And I can take a step back and maybe show up in a different kind of way where if I were showing up as the take charge type of person, then I might not have the strength or the want to show up in a different type of way to bring a different type of energy to the date or to the relationship. Another thing that I have been learning, which is something that I've probably already known, you know, these things in your head. I will say a lot of the things that I've been learning, I know in my head, but having the experience is me learning these things emotionally and with my heart. So it's like, okay, in my head, I know, yeah, of course, let someone else do this thing for you. But practically, that hasn't really happened. So when it started to happen, it's like, okay, I can see this and I can like take a step back and I don't need to be that person. So the second thing that I've been learning is to speak up for the type of relationship that I am wanting and not settling for that if I'm not getting that. So, entering some dating experiences, I would speak for myself. I'll say there have been some times where I've been anxious or I've been kind of nervous that if I'm standing up for the things that I actually want, that this person is going to leave and this person is not going to stick around because maybe they're not actually looking for that thing, but maybe they can offer me some kind of counterfeit way of kind of sort of getting that thing that I'm wanting. And I would say that in some recent experiences, with dating experiences or like situationships where I am sacrificing the thing that I actually want in order to keep this person around. And so what I've been learning is that it's much better for me to actually speak up for myself and maybe this person will leave, but I have been able to get to what it is that I'm looking for faster than me sticking around with this person who's not going to give me what I want anyway and the things that I need in order to feel safe and secure and thrive in a dating relationship. So I don't want to maybe stick around with someone for like 6 months, a year, where they're kind of giving me maybe 50% of the thing that I'm wanting so that I'm not feeling 100% secure. I'm nowhere near feeling secure and it's throwing off my nervous system and it's just making me feel insecure and anxious and like what's the goal in the end? What am I getting in the end? I'm getting this half-baked relationship. That's not what I ultimately want. And so it's kind of like me putting back that, apple that's about to spoil. Let me put that back. I don't want to take that home. I don't want to buy that because it's about to go bad. Let me go look for something that is fresh and it is what I want. Let me sacrifice putting this back and let me take a little bit more time to get what it is that I want that's going to last longer because it's something fresh, it's something like real and what it is that I'm actually looking for. So really like standing up, knowing what it is that I want, knowing what I want in my mind and in my heart and making sure that those two things align so I feel secure within myself of finding what it is that I'm looking for and then also being able to articulate what it is that I'm looking for and being able to see what is not real, what's counterfeit. And like weeding those things out, filtering those things out, not continuing into a relationship with that person because they're not actually wanting the same things that I want, or maybe they're not able to give me the things that I want. And so I have learned to be secure in, hey, we've been having really good conversations. Maybe we've gone out on some really good dates and I'm having a good time with this person, but ultimately we're not compatible in the things that we are looking for in the end. So let's cut this off now because we're we're just going to be wasting each other's time, essentially. So that's something that I've been learning to do faster and earlier in these relationships that I've been having. Like, let me see, like, really pay attention in the beginning to what it is that's happening, what this person is saying to me, how they're communicating with me. And if it's not aligning with the things that I want, I need to get out faster than what I have been doing before. And the third thing that I have been learning recently, I would say, is that just because someone might be reaching out to me, like, let's say I have decided that this person is not for me, we're not compatible, and maybe that person reaches out in like a month or 3 months or 6 months, whatever it is, after the fact. And they might present, oh, I'm reaching out. Oh, I just want to check on you. I just want to see how you're doing. I just want to, see if you're okay, et cetera, et cetera. I've been learning that just because someone might reach out to you, it doesn't mean that they are actually genuinely caring about how it is that you're doing. They're not actually concerned with your well-being. A lot of the times, these people are looking to see if they can get back into your life, if they can somehow infiltrate what it is that you've got going on. Like maybe they feel energetically that you're not thinking about them anymore. So they're like, let me reach out to this person. Let me see what's going on to see, like, do I have access to this person? And it might not be something consciously that they're thinking about, but they don't really, they're not really actually intending something good for you. It's not like they're coming back and saying, when you were saying you were looking for, a long-term, meaningful, like monogamous relationship, how when you said you were looking for that, I am ready for that. They're not saying that. When they're coming back to you, this is 9 times out of 10. I'm not going to say that this is 100%. Maybe someone has been able to get back with their ex or someone who they've been dealing with and it has worked out well. I'm not speaking about those situations. I'm speaking about the situations where someone is reaching out to you to see, like, are they going to entertain me? Are they going to let me back in the way that I want to be let back in, not in the way that they're actually looking for? So sometimes these interactions can be a waste of time. And I used to think like, oh, maybe there's hope. Maybe there's something more that could come out of this. Like this could be something really good and beneficial for me. Like, let me give this person another chance. But really, like, interrogating, okay, what is it that they're saying? How are they actually, excuse me, trying to show back up into my life? What is it that they are coming with and deciding, is that something that I'm trying to let them come back in? And most of the times it's a no. It's a dub. It's a chop. Like it's no. And I've been learning to be more diligent in the way that I am looking at these messages and probably just like, let me just delete this message. Let me not even engage because sometimes, that person might catch me at a lonely moment and I might decide to entertain that attention and it's not really what it is that I want and I'm getting sidetracked off of the things that I am getting done in life. So that's one of the like major things that I've been learning lately is like just because that person is reaching out to me doesn't mean they actually want well for me. Like they might come and ruin my life all over again. And that is something I'm not willing to sacrifice the path that I'm on in order to re-engage with that person because they're not actually, it's insincere. It's not genuine and it's not something that I'm trying to like dip my toe back in. Okay. And the bonus one of something that I have been learning lately when it comes to dating and relationships has been to be myself. And this is advice that everyone will tell you, but really, like lately, I have been being myself, and it has been beneficial for me to skirt past things that are going to be a waste of time. Like I'm able to see, okay, I'm not even going to entertain this person because they're not looking for what it is that I'm looking for. And I already know that we're not compatible or like our lifestyles are not compatible. And thinking about these things objectively has been really good for me to approach dating. And being myself has been good for me because I get more secure with who I am and the things that I am wanting. Like I get more solidified into that. And being myself, it's helping to attract the people who are going to want to be with someone like me. I don't want to project out into the world someone who I am not because I can't keep up that facade. So I need to be able to be myself and continue learning, continue growing, of course. Like maybe I will, not maybe, I know that I will continue to evolve, but really like being authentic to myself is going to help me show up better in the world because I am being fully myself. You know, there can't be another me. There can't be another you. So be yourself. So yeah, these have been some of the lessons that I've been learning lately when it comes to dating and relationships. And I would so love to hear what are some things that y'all have been learning. And now I want to go into my Pod Corner segment. This is a segment where I recommend a podcast episode to you all. I love listening to podcasts. It's one of the main reasons why I started my own. And I just so enjoy listening to them, laughing with them, and learning more about the world that's going on around me. And this episode that I want, I always say episode. I don't know why I don't say podcast. But this podcast that I would like to recommend to you all is called Help I Sexted My Boss. And this is a British podcast. It's hosted by two men. One is a like comedian, radio personality. The other is a etiquette expert, and they just have a really nice back and forth, a really good rapport. They're friends in real life, and then they started doing the podcast. So it's really cool to like listen to their experiences, and they're very different in the way that they approach life. So it's just a fun time. It is, even though there's sexted in the name, it's not a sex podcast. This is something that they say every time, we're not a sex podcast. And but they did have a viral clip that went around. People can write into the show and ask them advice. Maybe they're asking about etiquette advice or just regular old life advice, relationship advice, friendship advice, etc. And someone had written onto the show about I'll just say this product is called Clone a Willy. And that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say there. But if you search Clone a Willy. It's NSFW, so it's not safe for work. So don't do the search when your kids are around. But yeah, the podcast is called Help I Sexted My Boss, and it's a lot of fun. It's funny. They also have British accents, so it's fun to listen to that. And yeah, it's a good time. So check it out. And this is another episode of the Me in the Making podcast. I hope that you enjoyed, and let me know what you've been learning in the comments. Bye. This has been another episode of the Me in the Making podcast. Please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Tell a friend, tell a family member. We all deserve to grow and change and become our best selves, whatever that might look like to you. And please connect on Instagram at Making Me Pod, on TikTok. You can email me at meli@makingmepod.com. I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you want to be a guest on the show. And yeah, I'm just having such a great time. I'm so happy to have been able to launch this video episode for you all, and come again. Bye.